anonymous Brazil press release. The World Cup that government does not show to you. In 2014 the world will live the Brazilian dream. It's the country of the World Cup. Blessed for God and beautiful for nature. That it's a beauty. But, what beauty? The World of Cup have implicit characters, but this the government Brazilian choose to hide. Let's make a tour and know any more about the Brazil. When you arrive in Brazil, you tourists will be surprised by assaults with guns. The records of SIM, Mortality Information Subsystem of the Health Prosecutors, show that between 1980 and 2010, almost 800,000 citizens were killed by guns. We know that another character will unfortunately be present. It's called child prostitution. According to UNICEF in 2010, almost 250,000 children were prostituting themselves. Another problem here that you won't see on television, because the government don't want to show you, is the hunger. The hunger makes 32 million victims in this country, and 65 million people live without the minimum amount of daily calories. There are other truths that the world will know in the World Cup 2014, but the media will not show you. So open your eyes. Search for real information. Don't believe in everything that journalists and commercials show to you about Brazil. It's a lie. A big lie. We Brazilians don't make protests without reason against the World Cup 2014. The situations pointed to are the truth. If you don't agree with the attitudes of the government, join us against the outrage of Brazilian people. Be against the corruption of Brazil. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget.
You should have expected us. A message from Myra, from the Pleiadean High Council.
By Valerie Donner, June 8, 2014.
Greetings. I am Myra. I am devoted to the Earth's ascension and therefore am working full-time with the Earth Council. We are the overseers of the Earth and life on the Earth. It is a big job, but we have help from many, many beings. Our Creator is in charge. We love you and love the Earth. What happens on the Earth affects all of creation. This is why you need our undivided attention. Some of you may be feeling like your situations are hopeless, like the Earth is in such dire straits that she cannot pull out of it. This is far from the truth. There is more light on the planet than ever before. Much of this light is attributed to the light weavers, you, the light workers, who allow the light to be transmuted through you. We realize that you are striving for heaven on earth. In order to create these energies, there is much that has to be transmuted. Even though most of you are prepared, you have little idea about how these higher energies will affect your bodies. Your hearts hold the dearest energies of love and light, yet the physical bodies still are being prepared. Please do whatever you can to lighten up and to do the very best that you can for your bodies. Many of you are actually reversing aging and getting younger. The light can do this when you truly open up to it. Lots of good thoughts, meditation, prayer, healing, rest, good food and lots of water also affect the cells positively. Mindfulness is important. Many bold new steps are being taken by all of us in whatever our capacity. This includes you. As you pave the way into the new frontier of living in the higher dimensions, you must be bold in what you say, think, and do. You cannot take the easy way out thinking that you will be rescued from whatever ills are on the earth or within you. We can help you and guide you, but we rely on your consciousness for the transformation. We are multidimensional beings. Life is truly multidimensional. You are living in the time of miracles. As you advance, the miracles of creation will increase. Pay attention and be grateful and acknowledge the miracles that come in your lives. These new manifestations are practice for what it is like to live in higher dimensions when all one has to do is think something into being. We spend a lot of our energy on watching what is percolating within the consciousness of humanity. We see how consciousness is impacted by those who would rather distract you from the path of enlightenment. This way they can continue to control humanity. But the light workers are different. Every choice that you make towards higher consciousness has an exponential impact on the rest of humanity. This is how important your thoughts are as light workers. We also use our technology to monitor the earth and where help could be necessary. We have the ability to actually look within the earth and see and feel what the earth is feeling. We can also tell when the earth is getting ready to release negative energies far before events occur. We use this information to stabilize energies or prepare for certainties before the release of energies. It is the Creator's intention and the earth's intention to protect life as much as possible. I always enjoy sharing with you. It is my desire to keep you in the loop. I send you my love and greetings from all of us. I am Myra.
Valerie Donner, a message from Mira from the Pleiadean High Council, June 8, 2014. A message from Mira from the Pleiadean High Council through Valerie Donner, June 5, 2014. Greetings. I am Mira. I am devoted to the Earth Ascension and therefore am working full-time with the Earth Council. We are the overseers of the Earth and life on the Earth. It is a big job, but we have help from many beings. Our Creator is in charge. We love you and love the Earth. What happens on the Earth affects all of creation. This is why you need our undivided attention. Some of you may be feeling like your situations are hopeless, like the Earth is in such dire straits that she cannot pull out of it. This is far from the truth. There is more light on the planet than ever before. Much of this light is attributed to the light weavers, you, the light workers, who allow the light to be transmuted through you. We realize that you are striving for heaven on earth. In order to co-create these energies, there is much that has to be transmuted. Even though most of you are prepared, you have little idea about how these higher energies will affect your bodies. Your hearts hold the dearest energies of love and light, yet the physical bodies still are being prepared. Please do whatever you can to lighten up and to do the very best that you can for your bodies. Many of you are actually reversing aging and getting younger. The light can do this when you truly open up to it. Lots of good thoughts, meditation, prayer, healing, rest, good food and lots of water also affect the cells positively. Mindfulness is important. Many bold new steps are being taken by all of us in whatever our capacity. This includes you. As you pave the way into the new frontier of living in the higher dimensions, you must be bold in what you say, think and do. You cannot take the easy way out thinking that you will be rescued from whatever ills are on the earth or within you. We can help you and guide you, but we rely on your consciousness for the transformation. We are multi-dimensional beings. Life is truly multi-dimensional. You are living in the time of miracles. As you advance, the miracles of creation will increase. Pay attention and be grateful and acknowledge the miracles that come in your lives. These new manifestations are practice for what it is like to live in higher dimensions when all one has to do is think something into being. We spend a lot of our energy on watching what is percolating within the consciousness of humanity. We see how consciousness is impacted by those who would rather distract you from the path of enlightenment. This way they can continue to control humanity. But the light workers are different. Every choice that you make towards higher consciousness has an exponential impact on the rest of humanity. This is how important your thoughts are as light workers. We also use our technology to monitor the earth and where help could be necessary. We have the ability to actually look within the earth and see and feel what the earth is feeling. We can also tell when the earth is getting ready to release negative energies far before events occur. We use this information to stabilize energies or prepare for certainties before the release of energies. It is the Creator intention and the earth intention to protect life as much as possible. I always enjoy sharing with you. It is my desire to keep you in the loop. I send you my love and greetings from all of us. I am Mira by Valerie Donner.
Hilarian's Weekly Message, June 1st to 8th, 2014. Beloved ones, You have been passing through many portals through the last few months, and now comes the process of assimilation of the energies and the shifting into a new perspective on your personal and collective journey. Many of you are arriving and perceiving, however dimly at first, the underlying potential that lies like magical seeds within the garden of your life. You are realizing that it is you who does the creating of the direction your life should go, and it all involves the constant use of your focus and your thoughts. It is important to remember that your thoughts are now in position to be more potent and more powerful than ever before, for the energies you have passed through have cleared many obstacles that were standing in your way forward. If you have been working on being attuned to these new energies, the way forward will fall into place in magical and wondrous ways. What seemed so difficult and unreachable before will now come into manifestation without too much focus from you. With these potentials comes a warning to be responsible in your every thought, word and deed, for your power to create has been greatly magnified. Use self-discipline and discerning awareness of the thoughts you are holding in each moment. As they come up, along with the associated feelings with them, learn to change all those thoughts and feelings that are from the old paradigm that were keeping you small in your perceptions of your own abilities and how you might use them. Realize that you are no longer in that place and space, and that now you can be all that you have desired to be, and that you can have all the good in your daily life that you have desired and deserved. You have done the work, and now you are preparing to create the beauty of your new life. Celebrate each moment by rewarding yourself often. Surround yourself with the beauty of nature as often as you are able, for in this lies the power to regenerate and rejuvenate your human operating systems in a safe and conducive way. Be kind to yourselves in the thoughts and feelings that you hold within yourself, and immediately change any thoughts that are disempowering into ones that empower and uplift you. This may be challenging at first because you are still going against the mainstream of old and diminishing energies, but with constant repetition and use of this method, you will gain immeasurably in your own self-esteem and confidence. Picture yourselves in the positions of teachers, healers, and masters, helping others to learn to balance and bring their own energy systems into equilibrium. See yourselves giving encouragement and upliftment to those around you, and practicing random acts of kindness in which you expect nothing in return, only the joy and pleasure of giving to others in a way that uplifts you. This is good practice and a good way to begin to be of service to others, without any need for recognition for your efforts. As the divine feminine energy flows into the atmosphere of Earth, people will feel more connected to each other, and will be more willing to risk the opening of their hearts as they let down their shields of protective patterns of thought and behavior which no longer serve the magnificent future that lies tangibly before them. Many on the earth at this time are suffering greatly within themselves, for as they become awakened, they are realizing that they could have done many things differently in situations that needed their attention. It is important for these ones to realize that they did not have the same perspective at the time of these events that they now hold, and to allow themselves forgiveness of their perceived shortcomings during those times. This also indicates that you have come a long way. Celebrate this accomplishment and reward yourself in a way that is meaningful for you. Life on this planet is a journey of self-discovery, and just as one must hold the helm on the sailboat to keep it safely afloat, one must learn and adjust to the current that tosses them about as they sail on their journey through life. All of life is about the experience of it, and this is how one matures and progresses. There are no judgments from the divine realms, only learning and growth within each individual. Each of you has chosen your soul path in order to gain more awareness and power of the divine attributes of your divine essence, and you are directly experiencing that path in your moment of now. In other words, you are fully participating on your chosen journey of life, with all its seeming ups and downs. This is the way that you as soul have chosen to bring into your earthly life all the people, situations, and conditions that lie before you in your current moment. Your attitude can make it a pleasant and empowering experience, or one that you resist, which brings with it the corresponding feelings of not being supported by the universe. Your power of choice in the attitude you take can help you make a leap forward to a new and happier way of life. When one chooses the path of least resistance, life begins to unfold in a kaleidoscope of enriching and loving experiences. It is all up to you. Until next week. I am Hilarion. Channeled by Marlene Switlishov-Sutana, Keeper of the Symphonies of Grace. www.therainbowscribe.com. www.movingintoluminosity.com.
We have a lot to say to you today, so sit in a good spot to get the most enjoyment in this moment that we share together. We love these times where your consciousness engages with our communications, and the thoughts that live in the space between the here and there generate realities of potential, where for the most part you welcome yourselves into a future of empowerment and harmonic intra-awareness. By extending your ability to comprehend the impulses that take the form of words, it may be necessary to come face to face with the centuries of belief that safeguard the inner sanctum of your mind. In such a case, remember, there is nothing to fear and everything to celebrate, for you are in that encounter meeting an opportunity to rebuild your framework of understanding and, in a sense, polish the lens through which the light of knowingness shines from within the heart of all. Such guardians of mind are constructs of protection, yet if you have no need of safety in a singularity of knowing yourself as love incarnate, they are without a purpose and can retire in peace to the land of outworn modalities, there to dissolve in the reverberations of job well done. So, if such a chance encounter pops up in the course of contemplating our message, be assured it is with all due respect that we say, do the thing that leads to greater understanding, notwithstanding the old beliefs that served a limited interface of times gone by. Be bold, dear ones, and let your truth reveal itself in greater brilliance to you. One day, in the deep shadows of a cryptically quiet forest, dwelt a little man in a cottage he had fashioned out of the twisted branches he had found in abundance near the banks of a stream. Long, long ago had he labored to weave together the intricacies of nature's growth into sturdy walls and roof to give himself a quiet place amid the quiet outside. A place to think it was, and a place from which the revelations of light periodically could be gleaned from where the sun pierced the open spaces in the walls where the branches didn't quite fit together. He loved his little cottage, and found it to be comfortable enough, even in the storms that blew through with increasing regularity. Though the winds would shake the very roots of the cottage, he believed the foundations of the place were strong enough to hold his little thought space intact. Little did he know that on the horizon a storm was brewing that would shake the forest itself to its core, and when in thundering suddenness it struck, he found himself surrounded by a pile of sticks, with a very few pillars and joists still maintaining their vigilance in being the framework they had been set to be. As the sky cleared and the immensity of the storm began to become apparent all around him, he furiously began to gather what sticks remained and piece them together into some semblance of the structure they had been before. It was no use, he realized, and as he dropped to the ground, exhausted and bewildered, the remaining particles of his home crashed around him in a cloud of dust. So he sat and contemplated in a puddle of sticks and sunlight, for the winds in their fury had stripped the forest of its canopy of leaves, and now the light from above was streaming through unhindered. As the warmth of the sun's rays penetrated his bent and bowed neck, some part of his innerness began to relax. There was little he could do but receive the light. There was nowhere else to go. As he sat, he settled into a realization that everything he had relied upon to protect him from the elements was suddenly and most assuredly gone. Could he blame the wind? What good does that do? He said to himself in quick reflex. Surprising even himself with such a candid answer, he let his thoughts flow. There was no one to blame. The wind was stronger than his carefully constructed walls. That was simple and complete. The wind had no expectation, and so, he decided, neither should he. He sat and released all the mental files in his memory banks that held the blueprints for his former cottage, and directed his attention toward the photonic stream of data that was pouring into him from above. His form became filtered into pure energetic self-sufficiency, and around him swirled the particulate matter of reflected Om stuff, itself glowing in the sun-infused space where he sat. This continued for some time, and when at last he opened his eyes, he gasped. All around him now appeared a home without structural supports, without beams, without nails, without the girding and gaps that his last home had. Arcing overhead from every side was a perfectly parabolic dome, the shape of a mind space, with the toroidal emanations of his heart magnified in all directions. It was lit from within by a soft yet persistently powerful glow that cast no shadows and revealed an opalescent shimmer of living energies coalesced into a thought-enhancing field. What a place in which to dwell, he thought, and instantly found himself at peace. We hope you enjoyed our telling of this tale. Our intent, beyond helping you relax for a moment from the day-to-day excitement of living in the matrix of Earth, was to instill the imagery of what it is to live in the era of sudden relinquishment of structure, whether that is of beliefs or of some physicality. Your world is in flux in so many ways, we see, and we understand the stresses that the winds of change can bring upon a mind grown comfortable in a set of structured beliefs, no matter how sturdy and deep the foundations. The difference between belief and knowingness is like the difference between living in a house or breathing one's life within a fabric of elemental unification so shimmering with light that all else blends in seamless understanding into a living opalescence. It is the difference between self-expression and self-integration, the subtle shift from perception to seeing in the timeless moment of now, the eternity of now outside of time's confines. In fact, it is the movement from within definition into is. Strip down all of the layers of definition with which you interact in your various spheres of influence, and you will approach authenticity of who you are in the context of knowingness, in the is. In truth, is has nothing by which to define itself, yet it is itself knowingness unencumbered by the weight of belief. It is in knowing that you are. What happens when all of a sudden the rug is ripped out from under your feet, your carefully laid plans go flying away on the wings of the unexpected, and you find yourself amid the rubble of a once sturdy belief structure? You have options. You are certainly able to say, well, after all, I did save some memories to comfort me in whatever comes next. Or you can walk away from everything and trust that the winds that follow will bring with them a good reason to keep living. Or you can simply mourn your misfortune for the rest of your days. There are many options, and while moments of mourning do follow loss, there is little need to think that the loss of belief is equivalent to the loss of one's life and breath. You have, many of you, mourned the loss of belief in mythical figures conjured into adult minds to aid children's behavior, with the promise of sweet surprises. Likewise, many of you have taken that further and let go of the belief, and good riddance, that you must deserve some reward before receiving it, based on the judgment of an outside superior authority. How many of you have gone yet further and relinquished the comfortable belief that all will be well, that your prayers will be answered, and that in the end there will be some triumph of good over evil with happiness forever after, for your soul's rest? If that suggestion shocks you, let us continue with the counterpoint, which is, have you entertained the thought that in place of such a belief, that a knowingness of love's succor will sustain life in all its forms and varieties? Ponder a moment the implications of such a swap, and take another look around at the walls you have constructed over time, no matter how temporary you told yourself they might be. no matter how absently you allowed the bricks and mortar of habitual thought to stack up around you in an invisible yet very limiting cage. It doesn't take long, you know, just a hope untrusted, just a tiny thought that someday something good might happen. After all, you deserve it, after all you've been through. Dear ones, listen, you have it all already in the timeless now from which you source. If you don't see what you want, know it is in some form already there, at the end of a path, or already in the palm of your hand, hidden perhaps in something you don't recognize. If you can know in your bones that the future is bright, you are able to be there in the now moment you occupy, for there is no separation from the is other than a matrix space of temporality, and that is merely a function of experience. You are always in connection with the authenticity of being, and in truth, you are a representation of that in your reality now. Do you know that? Tap into your heart. Dive past the gateways of belief and see what you find there. In the face of engagement with your truth, no wind, however fierce, and no act of unplanned impermanence will touch you. In the face of the authentic self, a Zen calm penetrates even the most turbulent chaos. God knows, you are fond of saying in various ways according to the belief structures upon which you drape your language. Are you willing to step away from that? Do you believe you will fall into a chasm of perdition if you do? Or maybe it's like taking a step away from the Easter Bunny, which you know doesn't exist, at least not in the traditional coloring book kind of way. Heck, while you're at it, step away from that circle of thinking where you believe that we exist too. We don't ask you to believe in us, in our reality, or even in our words. We would much prefer that you rely on your knowingness for such things, for we don't want to bear the weight of helping you construct yet another structure to shelter your mind from the light of understanding itself. When you step outside of such thought forms and patterned dances of mind, pure knowingness engages with the light that lives in every particle of your beingness. Engage with that authentic self, and remember who you are. The times that are coming will be easier to navigate, the lighter you are.